This is HSC Option 2, the third key idea. We're on the right-hand side of the syllabus for key idea 3, second dot point, and we're going to answer this question which has been highlighted in red. What metaphors are common in sport? The examples the syllabus gives you there is footballers' war. Now, media companies, when they promote sport, will often use sensational type headlines and pictures to help promote the sport. So when you see something like State of Origin, for example, you'll often see headlines or images such as the one that's on the screen here that portray this image of it just being a little bit more than a game, that it has this sort of warlike, violent connotation. And as we'll have a look a bit later on with this recording, that's a little bit different to the metaphors that you'll see when it comes to female sport. Now this can be seen in some of the team names given to different female sports in this country. If you have a look at some of the names of some of the netball teams, the Australian netball team is known as the Diamonds. Some of the local netball teams are called the Mystics. One of the other teams is called the Vixens, which is a name for a female fox, which means fox are generally associated with being sly. This is opposed to some of the names that you see for male sports, and they're far more sort of masculine, I guess, type names, more suited to a sporting context. Names such as the Warriors, the Sharks are something. Now the headlines you'll often see in newspaper portray similar sort of image. When it comes to males, you'll see headlines such as this: England ready for third test battle, this idea of war. Maroons big up their chances in the physical battle, and Brown fires up the troops. So you can have a look at, when it comes to male sport, the headlines that are used are very much more macho and promoting the sport as being very rugged and battle-like. When it comes to female sports, often the headlines you'll see will have these words in them, such as babes or beauties. And as you can see, that's completely different from the type of headline that you'll see with male sport. So when it comes to answering this question down the bottom here, I think the easiest way to do it is to contrast the two and put it right alongside one another, male versus female. Show how the images and the metaphors are completely different for the two genders, and what are the implications of that. And some of the implications are that it just backs up centuries-old stereotypes about women's place in sport. The metaphors that are used don't actually help promote female sport in a good way. It's more focusing on the looks other than their athletic ability. And until that actually changes, and what that means is until the actual media changes its views, women's sport will always struggle to compare against male sport in this country, because it's almost like it's not treated seriously. The language that's used to describe male sport is more in keeping with what sport is all about, while what's often used in relation to female sport is very much unsportsmanlike. Images such as babes and beauties is not really anything to do with sport.